The tall, gangly thing?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of TFT 101. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of economy, leveling, and rolling. Understanding the fundamentals of economy is by far the number one way to improve at TFT. In a game of weighted risk, having a better economy increases your chances to find the core unit of your comp or allows you to pivot into a new comp if necessary. Before we begin, let's talk about how gold works in TFT. Starting in round 2-3, you receive a base of 5 gold each round and earn 1 gold per win. The amount of gold you receive can also be increased by interest and streaking. You collect interest for every 10 gold you have up to 50, where you'll be capped at 5 gold per turn. You can also earn additional gold through win or lose streaking. There are different breakpoints at 2, 4, and 5 streaks. Here's a look at each breakpoint and the extra gold that comes with it. Now that you understand the basics of economy, here are a few tips that are vital to having a strong economy. Number 1, make interest each turn. This is the most impactful way to kickstart your economy. Most of the time, this means selling the units you've been holding on the bench. Not being willing to sell your bench is the number one mistake I see in low elo players. Generally, there are 2 rules you can follow when asking whether to keep or sell a unit. First, can you use that unit next turn? And second, will it significantly increase your board strength? Most of the time, especially in the early game, units are completely expendable, and you'll be able to make a different board of similar strength while also hitting your interest threshold. Number 2, do not buy expensive units that cannot carry. There are many units in the game that will hurt your economy, but also don't have the individual strength to carry your board in the early or mid game. Examples of these units are Cassiopeia, Lux, and Irelia. These units have a huge impact late game, but oftentimes are not worth playing in stage 2 and 3 if it means not making interest. Especially in the early game, the effects of compounding interest can mean the difference between 5, 10, maybe even 15 gold or more. By the end of the game, that amount of gold will scale up and have a huge impact on your overall placing in the game. Number 3, don't roll without purpose. Knowing when to roll is a skill that comes with time, but the short version is that you should only roll at specific breakpoints, and instead, you should try to make the strongest board each turn with the units the game gives you. Now I'll break down standard leveling and rolling breakpoints. There are tons of guides on rolling and leveling timings, but here's one that I generally follow each game. Level to 4 at 2-1, level to 5 at 2-5, level to 6 at 3-2 and roll to 30 gold, level to 7 at 4-1 and roll to 30 gold, level to 8 at 5-1 and roll down to 0, and then if you have a strong enough board, level to 9 at 6-1 or 6-2 depending on your economy. This is a very balanced leveling guide that aims to give you a strong board at every point of the game. However, it relies on you having a strong enough economy that you can roll for units while also maintaining interest gold. There are plenty of times where you may just want to make your own judgment call regarding this leveling curve. For instance, if you're win streaking through round 3, you may not need to roll after leveling to 6. And if you're level 8 with 0 gold and really don't have a strong enough board to go 9, don't worry about saving up gold to go 9, just worry about upgrading your board and placing as high as you can. That sums up the basics of how to econ, level, and roll. This guide serves as a very standard guide that I follow in the majority of my games. In another video, I'll talk about how to play more aggressively to save HP early and also apply pressure to players in your lobby who are greeding or not econing properly. Like I said before, there are tons of people who are making guides on how to econ, how they play, and they all vary a little bit. I'll link some of those in the description below, but if there are any other topics that you guys would like to see covered, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.